The 1980s was a decade of excess, rebellion, and cinematic experimentation, where filmmakers often pushed boundaries that made studios nervous and audiences wildly curious. Beneath the neon lights and synth-heavy soundtracks, a wave of provocative films emerged that dared to explore taboo themes, risque humor, and unapologetic storytelling. These movies weren't always celebrated in their time. In fact, many were quietly buried, heavily edited, or dismissed outright due to their bold content. Yet, over the years, they've developed cult followings, with fans rediscovering their fearless energy and raw authenticity. What makes these films fascinating isn't just their shock value, but how they captured a moment when cinema flirted with danger and controversy. They reflected changing attitudes about freedom, identity, and expression, often clashing with conservative norms of the era. Some were misunderstood, others deliberately hidden, but all of them left a mark that refuses to fade. Today, they stand as relics of a daring cinematic age that wasn't afraid to take risks. So buckle up, because we're diving into 10 raunchy 80s movies they almost didn't want you to see. Cruising, 1980. William Friedkin's Cruising stirred controversy from the moment it was announced, diving headfirst into the underground leather scene of New York City. Starring Al Pacino as an undercover cop, the film explored a world rarely depicted on screen at the time, blending crime thriller elements with provocative subculture imagery. Critics and activists protested its release, fearing misrepresentation, while studios worried about backlash, leading to cuts and edits that softened some of its most explicit moments. Despite the controversy, the film offers a haunting look at identity and duality, with Pacino's character slowly losing himself in the role he's meant to play. The atmosphere is tense and hypnotic, with shadowy clubs and pulsating music creating an unsettling tone. Over time, Cruising has been reevaluated as a bold, if flawed, piece of cinema that dared to challenge audiences and push boundaries in ways few mainstream films ever attempted during that era. Porky's, 1981. Porky's became one of the most successful teen comedies of the 80s, but its outrageous humor and unapologetically risque tone made it a lightning rod for criticism. Set in the 1950s, but infused with 80s sensibilities, the film follows a group of high school boys obsessed with losing their innocence. Its infamous scenes and over-the-top antics sparked debates about taste and decency, with some critics dismissing it as crude exploitation. Yet audiences flocked to theaters, drawn by its rebellious spirit and comedic boldness. Beneath the raunchy exterior lies a surprisingly heartfelt coming-of-age story, exploring friendship, insecurity, and the awkward journey into adulthood. The film's success proved there was a massive appetite for boundary-pushing comedy, even if studios were hesitant to fully embrace its style. Over time, Porky's has become a defining example of the era's willingness to blur the line between outrageous humor and mainstream entertainment. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 1982. Amy Heckerling's Fast Times at Ridgemont High may seem like a typical teen comedy on the surface, but its candid approach to adolescence set it apart. The film didn't shy away from the realities of teenage life, addressing relationships, peer pressure, and personal growth with a level of honesty that surprised audiences. Its more daring moments sparked concern among studio executives, who feared it might be too bold for mainstream viewers. However, the film's authenticity resonated deeply, turning it into a cultural touchstone. Featuring breakout performances from a young cast, it captured the awkwardness and excitement of youth without sugarcoating the experience. The balance between humor and sincerity allowed it to stand the test of time, influencing countless films that followed. What was once considered edgy is now celebrated for its realism, proving that sometimes the truth is more impactful than any attempt to play it safe. Risky Business, 1983. Risky Business transformed Tom Cruise into a star, but its provocative premise made studios uneasy before its release. The story of a teenager turning his suburban home into a temporary playground of rebellion walks a fine line between comedy and social commentary, down in marketing, as executives feared alienating audiences. Yet those very aspects contributed to its allure. Cruise's charismatic performance anchors the film, capturing both the thrill and consequences of stepping outside societal expectations. Over time, Risky Business has been recognized as more than just a coming-of-age story. It's a sharp critique wrapped in an entertaining package. Its willingness to embrace bold storytelling helped redefine what teen-focused films could achieve during the decade. Revenge of the Nerds, 1984. Revenge of the Nerds took the classic underdog story and infused it with outrageous humor and controversial moments that sparked debate even upon release. The film follows a group of socially awkward students fighting back against the popular crowd, flipping the traditional hierarchy in exaggerated and often shocking ways. While audiences embraced its comedic energy, critics questioned some of its more daring choices, leading to a mixed reception. Studios were initially cautious, unsure whether its bold approach would resonate or backfire. Despite this, it became a commercial success, tapping into a sense of rebellion against social norms. Over time, the film has been re-examined, with discussions about its themes becoming more nuanced. Regardless of perspective, its impact on pop culture is undeniable, proving that even the most unconventional stories can find an audience when they lean fully into their identity. 9.5 Weeks, 1986. 9.5 Weeks is a film that thrives on mood, atmosphere, and emotional intensity, telling a story of a passionate but complicated relationship. Starring Mickey Rourke and Kim Basinger, it delves into themes of control, vulnerability, and desire, presenting them in a stylized and often controversial manner. Upon release, the film faced heavy criticism in the United States, leading to limited promotion and distribution. However, it found a much warmer reception internationally, where audiences appreciated its artistic approach. The film's lingering visuals and haunting soundtrack create an almost dreamlike experience, drawing viewers into its complex emotional landscape. Over the years, it has gained cult status, with many recognizing its influence on later films that explore similar themes. What was once dismissed has become a symbol of 80s cinema's willingness to experiment with storytelling and push emotional boundaries. Angel Heart, 1987. Angel Heart blends psychological horror with noir storytelling, creating a film that is both unsettling and deeply atmospheric. Starring Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro, it follows a private investigator unraveling a mystery that leads him into increasingly dark territory. The film's intense themes and disturbing imagery caused controversy, leading to edits that altered its original vision. Despite these challenges, it remains a haunting exploration of identity, guilt, and the human psyche. The performances are powerful, with De Niro delivering a particularly memorable role that adds to the film's eerie tone. Its slow-burning narrative builds tension in a way that keeps viewers on edge, making it a standout entry in the genre. Over time, Angel Heart has been appreciated for its ambition and willingness to take risks, solidifying its place as a cult classic that refuses to be forgotten. The Last Seduction, 1987, offers a sharp and unapologetic take on manipulation and ambition, centered around a cunning and fearless protagonist. The film challenges traditional gender roles, presenting a character who uses her intelligence and charm to outmaneuver everyone around her. Its bold narrative and morally complex themes made it difficult to market, leading to limited exposure despite critical acclaim. The story unfolds with a sense of confidence, never shying away from its darker elements. The lead performance is captivating, drawing viewers into a world where trust is a dangerous gamble. Over time, the film has gained recognition for its originality and daring approach, influencing later works that explore similar dynamics. Its legacy lies in its refusal to conform, proving that sometimes the most compelling stories are the ones that take the biggest risks. Wild Orchid, 1989. Wild Orchid is a film that leans heavily into atmosphere and emotional tension, telling a story of self-discovery set against an exotic backdrop. Starring Mickey Rourke and Jacqueline Bisset, it explores themes of temptation and identity through a slow-burning narrative, unsure whether audiences would embrace its style or reject it. Despite this, it found an audience that appreciated its artistic ambition and visual storytelling. The film's pacing and tone create a sense of anticipation, drawing viewers into its world. Over time, it has been re-evaluated as a unique entry in late 80s cinema, offering a perspective that stands apart from more conventional narratives of the era. Do the Right Thing, 1989. Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing is not traditionally labeled as raunchy, but its raw energy, bold dialogue, and unfiltered portrayal of social tensions made it controversial upon release. Set during a hot summer day in Brooklyn, the film captures a community on the edge, exploring themes of race, identity, and conflict. Its unapologetic approach sparked debates, with some fearing it might incite unrest, leading to attempts to downplay its impact. However, the film's honesty and powerful storytelling resonated deeply, earning critical acclaim and lasting significance. The characters feel real and complex, each contributing to the narrative's emotional weight. Over time, it has become one of the most important films of its era, proving that confronting difficult subjects can lead to meaningful conversations. Its legacy continues to grow, reminding audiences of the power of fearless filmmaking. The 1980s was a decade where filmmakers weren't afraid to walk the line between daring and controversial, even if it meant risking backlash or censorship. These films, once hidden or misunderstood, now stand as bold examples of creative freedom and storytelling ambition. They challenged audiences, sparked debates, and redefined what mainstream cinema could explore. While some remain divisive, their impact on film history is undeniable. In revisiting them today, we not only rediscover their shock value, but also appreciate the risks that made them unforgettable.
What are we waiting for? Here goes. Okay, don't. Come on.
She looks so young.
We got married on my 19th birthday.
Oh, I feel it.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Emily's there, and I decide when in my own house.
Shut up!
I decide.
Have you come for a reading?
Yep. No, I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Wow.